Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Fun Stuff Friday and we've got some fun stuff. Let's move you out because I've got you zoomed in way too far. There we go. There, that's better. All right, so we have a set of pencils that I purchased. They're called Candies and they are a mechanical pencil. And June Gold has the corner of the mechanical pencil niche of the coloring world. The Four Candies has come out with a full set of 36 mechanical pencils with a 2.6 millimeter core. The June Gold cores are only a 2 millimeter core, so they are a bit smaller and a little bit harder. These are really soft. So as you can see, and the one thing June Gold doesn't have on the old ones, I think they have them on the new ones, but not the old ones. They're numbered. They're numbered. And their cores are quite nice. They do come with a spare set of cores. Of course, the cores, however, are not numbered. So you do have to go through them and find which core goes to which pencil. Unfortunately, the one thing that June Gold has over top of these is I can't find a place to purchase these cores. So, unfortunately, if you want cores to replace these ones, you may have difficulty finding those cores and may have to just buy a new set of pencils. And I will have to pull one of my June Gold cores out and put it in one of these pencils and see if the June Gold cores will fit in here. But they are different and they are smaller. In my opinion, comparing the two of them, the June Golds are quite a bit harder than these and a lot, about 0.6 millimeters smaller. So it's not a huge amount, but it does give it some feeling of difference. It does come with the refills. It also comes with an eraser, and it comes with this adorable little pencil sharpener, if I can get it out without dumping it all over myself, that holds the sharpenings in there. The sharpener is up here in the lid, and you just pop it open and sharpen your pencil. Now it catches all of your shavings in here, and the shavings are just core. So if you wanted to, you could do one shaving at a time and utilize those shavings for your backgrounds or that sort of thing. You can pop off this bottom part here and clean it so that it's not contaminated with other cores. I will probably not ever do that, but you can. Just saying, it is a possibility. Now I have it upside down because normally I would pull them from here. So you push that and you pull, push and pull. The case for these does state that it's waterproof. I haven't tested that. I'm not going to test that. I don't color outside in the rain. Just there is extra slots here, so you can put your gel pen, you can put your blender, that sort of thing in the case with you. So it does make a really good travel case. All right, well, I have swatched these, so let's take a look at the swatch. Sit back, grab your cup of coffee. It's going to take about 3 minutes to swatch these. So, of course, like I said, sit back, relax, sip your coffee, and I will be right back after the swatch. Well, that wasn't so bad. Now, my printer decided to print things too big for the paper, so I will, of course, be redoing this swatch properly, maybe. And I'm seeing some movement of color, so that tells me that they were moving while I was rubbing my hand across them, and that is something that is a problem for me. It may not be a problem for other people, but it is a problem for me. We will be testing, of course, our water, our smudge, a 3-color blend, as well as our rainbow blender in white. I'm going to zoom you into the test area so that we can see what we're doing. Of course, I've got the true red, bright yellow, and the navy blue colored pencils here. So I'm going to start with the red. And as you can see, they go down very, very smoothly. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on the pencil itself. They do say that they have a special way of making the cores so that they don't break. They don't say on Amazon whether or not they are a wax base or an oil base. To me, they feel like a wax base, and we'll be able to tell more of that when we go over it with a water medium there, water brush. But as you can see, they are really vibrant, and they fill that space really well. The white, I have played with that on some black paper as well as on a colored area, and compared it to the Prismacolor because I noticed that it's very opaque. So I put it up against the Prismacolor white, and I'll show you guys that here in just a minute. And I did find that it is very, very close to the opacity of the Prismacolor white. So if you want a cheaper alternative to the Prismacolor white, I really think that this white is really, really close. Unfortunately, you'd have to, purchase an entire set to get the white. But you do get 2 white that way, but, still, you'd have to purchase the entire set in order to replace the white at this point. Hopefully, at some point, they'll come out with a set of refills. And I might actually contact them and ask them if they intend on coming out with any refills for these. Alright, so I'm going to use my water pen. Alright, so they do move with water. Not a whole lot, but enough to say to watch it when you're using your water-based mediums such as stickles, gel pens, that sort of thing. Be careful of that. Alright, let's try the smudge test. I already know they're going to smudge because of the swatch. I saw a lot of smudging on the swatch page, so I know they're going to smudge. I just have to do the test and be sure that it's just not something that my hand was wet or something when I was swatching. Because sometimes I do the dishes and sit down to do a swatch or something, or wash my hands and don't dry them quite as well as I should, and then sit down and put my hands on colored paper, coloring paper. Alright, so I'm just putting down the yellow and then the blue. Putting down the amount that I would for a colored area. And the blue is very dull, so getting into those crevices is a little. Alright, make sure my hand is dry. And That smudged. That smudged. And that smudged. So definitely does smudge a little bit. I don't know if you can see that very well, but it does smudge a little bit. So be careful of that. Now we're going to do a 3-color blend, and we're going to use purples for that. Maybe purple or blue. Let's do purple. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Don't sneeze. Don't sneeze. Alright, so we're going to start with our dark. Now I could sharpen this and tuck it back in and just use the sharp point, but I want to have that dull area just so I can blend them together. So this gives you the ability to have a little bit of both sides of it. I do like a really sharp pencil though. Alright. And then we're going to use number 27, and I think this is probably darker. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, I did the wrong way around. That's okay. Not quite darker, but it's a different kind of purple. It's more of a blue purple. But that's okay. It'll work out. It'll work. Just bringing that tail out. Going into the tail of the other color. And I'm barely touching the paper. I'm not putting any major pressure on the pencil. I'm just building that color up. And then this one here. This one's more of a red-violet. Going into that tail end here. Blending those two together. Again, not putting a whole lot of pressure on the pencil and just building the color. You can smush these. I have done it on the swatch chart with the smushing, so you can smush these if you need to. I just don't find it necessary. I find it uses up a lot of pencil, so. Alright, so we're going to do our rainbow blend. Now it did blend that quite nicely. I don't see a whole lot of transition between the 3 colors. However, the differences in the colors themselves give a transition line, which is fine. I should have chosen another color. The gradients in that is not the best because of the color I chose. Now this is a really small set, so having a vast amount of different tones and depths of color with your off colors like purple and pink, you're going to find that you don't have very many. So I'm going with the true red here, which is number 10, and I'm just putting down a good thick layer of color, leaving a tail for that yellow to blend into. Now when I go over the red here, it's going to give me a red-orange. I'm going to put down a good amount of yellow here. Normally I would start on the other side so that I don't pick up any of the red. But with these, I'm trying to pull some of that red into the yellow to do a yellow-orange. And it's pulling a little bit, but it's not pulling a whole lot. So I'm going to go over that with the red. And as you can see, when you go over yellow with the red, you get a brighter orange than if you go over red with yellow. So you can build the color up between the, oh, don't put blue on there, doofus. You can build the color up between the dark and the medium tones for the orange. So there is definitely an orange there. Now I'm going to wipe off the core here, make sure that there's no red on there. Now we're going to bring out our yellow. Now I want the yellow down first for the green. The more yellow you have, the brighter the green is going to be. I apologize, I had to clear my throat again. Now we're going in with the blue. And then we're going to take our yellow. And I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on this and see if we can smush like we do with Prismas. And they do. They smush quite nice. If you're a smusher, you can definitely smush these. I'm not a huge smusher, but you can smush these. So it did the rainbow very nicely, and it did smush. So just saying. Now we're going to take our aqua colors. So we've got teal and bright blue, I think it is. Yeah. And we're going to use a blender on those. So we're going to start with our teal. We're going to use all sorts of colors today. I'm really impressed with how smooth these are. Even on cardstock. On coloring book paper, they're even smoother. Oh, sorry, I'm off screen. Alright, so I'm putting down a really heavy layer, a really good layer of the teal. And then we're going to put down a couple of layers of bright blue. Now, a blender, you got to put down enough pigment that the blender is going to move that pigment around into all of the white spot, as well as blend those colors together. So as you can see, we've got a definite line between them. So let's try the Caran d'Ache blender. And we're going to start over here. And this is the Caran d'Ache Bright Stick. Definitely does eliminate that line as well as the white spot. So it definitely works well with the Caran d'Ache blender. And not a whole lot of lift up, so that's good too. Lift up is where the blender itself will pick up the color and just scrape it off the page. So that actually worked pretty good. So works great with the Caran d'Ache blender. Now again, like I said, the white in this is very opaque, so it is going to change the color of what I'm coloring. It's going to make the colors a lot more muted, and you know, that sort of thing. It is always better to blend with the pencils that you're using. with the same core. So blending with a white is definitely something that a lot of people do because it does work better for each different set of pencils. You know, where the Caran d'Ache blender, the Derwent blender, the Splendor blender, all of those are created to blend a certain company's pencils. So that company isn't using the same wax or oil base that other companies are using. So you kind of have to find one that works well with the base that you're working with. And 9 times out of 10, the best thing to work with that base is the same core. So if it's an inexpensive set of pencils, 9 times out of 10, the white is going to be very translucent. So you can use it to blend your pencils. This one here is very opaque. So as you can see, it's going to change that color a lot. But it does blend it. And remove the white spot as well as blend that seam together seamlessly. It works a lot better than the Caran d'Ache blender because of the fact that it is the same lead. But as you can see, the color is muted quite a bit from this to that, or from this to that. So as you can see, the white does blend very nicely. Now I took a black sheet of paper and I colored on it. I just got to find it with the blender or the white in here as well as the white from Prismacolor. Now as you can see, they're both very, very bright. This one here, number 1, is the white out of the 4 Candies. Number 2 is the Prismacolor. Now if you look at it, it is slightly less than the Prismacolors, but it's very, very, very white on black paper. So that impressed me. So I decided, okay, well, how does it look on colored things? And I gotta find it. So I did the highlights on this bell, on the ribbons. So all of the white on these ribbons, except for down here and down the middle, is done with the 4 Candies white. The ones down here and in the middle are done with the Prismacolor white. So I'm going to do this for you. So these berries here are quite red. So we're going to put some white on them. So as you can see, it is very, very opaque. You can definitely use this white for your highlights. If you find that your Prismacolor is getting low, or you just want an inexpensive replacement for Prismacolor whites or colored pencils. I was just really impressed with them. I'm really impressed with the white, I'm sorry. You know, as you can see, you can definitely use it for your highlights. And I'm not pressing a whole lot. I'm quite sure if I put a lot of pressure on it, I could probably color this whole thing in white. That was with a good heavy hand. So with a heavy hand, you can pretty much, fill in the whole space with a white tint. Even with a medium hand, you can. Now I'm going to see if it smudges it. And it does smudge a bit, so you can, mush it around and remove some of it. But it is very white. I was just really impressed with how white that is. Now, the 4 candies are currently on sale on Amazon for $12.99, I do believe. Just 1 second and I will check. Yeah, they're on sale for 13% off for $12.99. They do have some extra savings there as well. So if you select certain amount of things, you get 5% off or 15% off on top of the 13% that's already off. Now that is, as according to Honey, a 61% price drop from 30 days ago. So they have dropped the price of them a lot in the past 30 days. And that's because they were overpriced. Now they are in the proper price range for this size of pencil set, as well as for the type of pencil and the lack of ability to replace the cores. Now, basically, you do get 2 sets of pencils in one. You do get a nice little 36 pencil bag, an eraser, a sharpener for, and you can use this sharpener for any mechanical pencils. They are a 2.6 millimeter core, so they are approximately 0.6 millimeters larger than June Gold, and I do find that they are softer than the June Gold mechanical pencils. But yeah, so that is today's Fun Stuff Friday. If you would like to purchase a set of the 4 Candies mechanical pencils, I will put that link below the video. And yeah, of course, I am an Amazon affiliate, so every time that you use that link, it will give me a few pennies commission from your purchase. Of course, that is at no cost to you. All right, guys, with that, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and of course, I hope you have a wonderful day. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye for now.